A very good evening, viewer. You're most welcome to the NILE cast, only on West Nile Television, where we give you the daily news bulletins of the day, every day from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. My name's Okumringa Christine. Before we dive into any of the stories, let's first have a look at the news making headlines today. In the headlines tonight, Moyo stakeholders caution locals against illegal barriers. $500 youths empowered through education and skilling initiative in Zombo and Madiokolo district. And Uruku Primary School risks missing 2024 primary living examinations. This and more in the Nilecast News Bulletin. It's the 17th of April 2024. You're most welcome to the Nilecast, only on West Nile Television. Now let us dive into some of the stories of the evening. Moyo Town Council's town clerk has warned the residents within the town council against illegal burials, which within the town council, as some members of the public have started burying their loved ones within the residence without the knowledge of the town council authorities. Moyo Town Clerk has warned the residents against illegal burials or risk facing the wrath of the law. Okumu Dominic reports.
According to the information circulating within the town council, some members of the public within the town council have started burying their loved ones within their residence without the knowledge of the town council authorities, yet the town council has gazetted a specific place for burial. Mrs. Chota Vivian, the senior town clerk, Moyo Town Council, said she is disappointed to have learnt that some members of the public within the town council have started carrying out illegal burial in their residence, which contravenes the guidelines of the Public Health Act Caption 281 as amended in 2023, which directs the minister to gazette a specific place for burial in towns and municipalities.
I would like to refer the public to the regulations of burials in Moyo Town Council. Not only Town Council, but the regulation of burials in town, in urban areas. According to the Public Health Act 21, Cap 21, as amended in 2023, Section 107, it states that the minister may select and appoint by statutory instrument sufficient and proper places to be sites of and to be used as cemeteries or crematoria for municipalities and towns, and it shall be an offense where such cemeteries or crematoria exist to bury or burn the dead elsewhere within the municipality or the town.
When asked on the possible action that can be taken against those who have gone ahead to bury their loved ones within their residence, the town clerk said all the people who have been allocated land within the town council know the purpose of the land being leased to them, adding that those who go ahead and bury their loved ones within the town council will be forced to exhume the bodies of their loved ones at their own cost.
I would like to inform the public that the plots that are leased to individuals were regulated. When a plot is leased to you, it is clear what the purpose for which it is leased for, and among those activities for you to carry on those plots does not include burials. So those who have buried and have refused to seek for advice or guidance will at time T exhume those bodies at their own costs.
Mr. Ovoyogad, the physical planner, Moyo Town Council, said all the land within the town council have been planned for different purposes ranging from commercial to residential, and therefore urge the residents within these areas to use the land for the already planned purposes.
We have been given plots for residential or commercial, which are supposed to be developed for those purposes. Now, if a loved one dies, this person is supposed to be buried within the gazetted areas for burial, and those are cemeteries. We have 2 cemeteries in Town Council Moyo, one owned by Town Council itself, and it is meant for the general public, regardless of which religion, which tribe, and all that. And then another one is owned by the Muslim community in the Town Council, which is also gazetted, and they are following that. For the Muslims, actually, realize that they are burying automatically. When they lose anybody, they are burying in their cemetery. But for the Christians, realize that some are buried in Town Council cemetery, but others are burying in the mission cemetery, which is outside the Town Council.
According to the Public Health Act Caption 281 of Section 107, which states that the minister may select and appoint by statutory instrument sufficient and proper places as sites to be used as cemeteries or cemeteria for municipalities and towns, and it shall be an offence where such cemeteries exist to bury or burn the dead elsewhere within the municipality or town. It's from this background that the authorities of the town council have come out clear on the illegal burial within the town council and plan to take drastic measures on those who go against the law. I'm Dominic Anthony Okumo for West Nile TV, Nilecast.
And more in our stories, 500 youths from Zombo and Madiokolo district have benefited from the 2-year European Union funded project DAB Prevention Response to Teenage Pregnancy through Life Skills, Income and Formal Education Re-Entry project implemented by Rice West Nile in partnership with Palm Corps and Sustainable Plan for Action for Community Empowerment, aimed at contributing to inclusive education, decent work, economic growth and eliminating poverty for adolescent girls, young women and boys. Take a look. 500 youths from Zombo and Madiokolo districts have benefited from the 2-year European Union-funded Project DAB Prevention Response to Teenage Pregnancy through Life Skills, Income and Formal Education Re-Entry project implemented by Rice West Nile in partnership with Palm Corps and the Sustainable Plan and Action for Community Empowerment space, aimed at contributing to the inclusive education, decent work, economic growth and eliminating poverty for adolescent girls, young women and boys. This was revealed during the European Union delegation representative visit to check on the project areas and activities carried out in the 2 districts of Madiokolo and Zombo, together with the members of the consortium and the chief guest, His Highness Philip Rauni Olarkel Ubimu III, the King of Kelalur Kingdom. Nyakawoti Martha, a student and one of the beneficiaries of the project, thanked the European Union for this project as it has enabled her to go back to school to pursue her education.
I had interest of being in school, but I did not have anything to use in school. That's why I dropped out of school. But when this project came in, the project helped me a lot. It brought for me cards, school uniform, circles, school shoes, books, rulers, pens, and so many others. And it made me to have interest in school. This taught me that I have to work hard so that I become what I want to become.
Peace Piachel, the Child Protection Officer, Sustainable Plan and Action for Community Empowerment space, stated that the Prettier project is targeting prevention and response to teenage pregnancies in schools and communities.
We are targeting prevention and also response to teenage pregnancy in schools and the communities. So we are looking at 2 different sets of adolescents, those in school and those out of school. The ones in school, we are doing a prevention strategy, while those who have already left school, we are doing the skilling, and also those who are able to re-enroll have been encouraged to get back to school. The project beneficiaries, especially the adolescent girls and young women, we have 500 in total. We have 20 girls and they are coming from each school of the 6 schools within the 2 districts, that is Luku, Ezo in Kano, Then we have Zabu and Anyiribu in Madiokolo. Then Ajibu and Amadudu in Madiokolo. Then we have Okeyu and Pakada but we've also added 40 boys onto that number to make the total of 500 beneficiaries.
Pak Sakari, the Executive Director for Rural Initiative for Community Empowerment West Nile and Consortium Lead for the implementation of the Prettier project, stated that this project is targeting children who have dropped out of school due to challenges such as financial difficulties and teenage pregnancies, with the aim of reintegrating them back to school through sensitization of education and skills training.
This project is operated in Madiokolo and in Zumbo, the two districts, and then also in 6 counties. So what we are doing right now, we are reintegrating children who had dropped out of school, maybe P6, maybe P5, maybe P7, take them back to school after thorough sensitization. And I'm happy to inform that through this project, we're able to make children who had dropped out from school, some have not reached the senior. The case in point is we have a representative of such children. Then reintegration. And then those who had totally dropped out and they have no future to go back to school, we enroll them and take them to do vocational skills training. This, the number we now have is 8. That is first cohort. Who have already been registered, who have already been graduated, now we are moving to give them the certificates. The second cohort, again, we have already registered. So this project is so young. We have just done 1 year. It is 2 years project, but we have just done 1 year. But you will see the overwhelming impact that it has created.
Elizabeth Ongom, the European Union delegation representative, thanked the consortium partners, local government representatives, and the Kelalur Kingdom for their individual roles played in ensuring the young people are given a second chance to pursue their education through this initiative.
I have had many positive things. I have had good stories. I have seen areas which have been good, but overall, I must say it's very favorable. I'm happy, and that is a message I will take back with me, that I have seen so many young faces, many of whom have got a second chance with their education after all the challenges they probably faced as young people. Both here, I've seen this in Negri here, I've also seen it in Madiokolo. And it gives us a sign of, it gives us hope that actually the intervention is on the right track.
His Royal Majesty Philip Olarkel Ubimu III, the King of Kelalur Kingdom, in his address appealed to the parents in the community to protect their children against teenage marriages by empowering them with education and skills training.
I am calling upon parents, and that is again in our pronouncements we made there. Please, parents, in any society, the responsibility starts with you. If you can't protect our children, it is very hard for children to get protection out there. I am very saddened, like he said, most parents, unfortunately, in our community, see their children as a resource avenue. So imagine you're a girl and you've gone through that, and all your parents are thinking, oh, how many cows can I get from the cow print? What does that make you feel as a young girl? It must be devastating. I cannot even bear to imagine. But so let's parents, let's take time to value our children. I call upon something that I feel will do way more good for the girls who have been affected by this, which is skill. I'm not sure, but these days I don't know if it is now that most young people, I think, the career they see is on social media, TikTok, and I don't know if we don't have any other skills we can train them in. We could give them media skills. I have no problem with that, but we should look at giving our young girls skilling. I feel that's something that can really help benefit them. Not only it takes them off, has something to do, helps them occupy their time, but it takes them away from areas where they could be susceptible or vulnerable to some of these vices that we do not want.
According to the barrier analysis study conducted in the communities of Zombo and Madiokolo district, it was revealed that parental negligence, unregulated night discos, and teenage marriages are the obstacles to girl child education. This project, in collaboration with the local government, cultural and religious institutions, seeks to promote education of children through actions to prevent and respond to teenage pregnancies in the region. Okomaringa Christine, Alfred Jawok, West Nile Television, Nilecast. And more in our stories, Uruku Primary School parents have expressed dissatisfaction over the non-existence of Primary 7 candidates registered for this year's Primary Living Examination, even though the school had candidates who sat for Primary Living Examinations in 2023. Uruku Primary School is a government-aided school located in Amea Parish, Paida Sub-County, Zombo District. Alfred Jawok reports.
Uruku Primary School in Ames Parish by the Sub-County Zombo District is a government-aided primary school 6 kilometers away from Paida Town Council Zombo District. However, parents have expressed dissatisfaction over the non-existence of Primary 7 candidates for this year Primary Living Examination, though the school had candidates who sat for PLE in 2023. In an interview with Stephen Ochungi, Chairman School Management Committee confirmed that the school does not have P7 candidates for this year. Ochungi attributes the challenge to failure of Primary 6 pupils who did not qualify to be promoted to Primary 7 so that they can be registered. According to Ochungi, the school has only 10 candidates who cannot be registered in accordance to the Ministry of Education and Sports.
Skuru ma eni upe tele menenia wabedo kode oru mukado angesh enki oru ma ene pe tele menenia wabenene le benenia ma ko oru bine berutie mukete pe ma eni wanena nya wenda wiya ma obino ikasa berja bernya kanok ma ga mende wacho ko men ma ko wenda wiya ma bidi kasa ber ma ko beda para bi doko malo do nyuto nya ga wacho ko men do wiya ma muti wen ke menena ko do ke klas ke do skuru mange kom ko genya tu kai kom ka gibedo kai ni inwango nya condition bagamende watu nya mako beda para bido ko malo oga muke to tem pega meni ni do nyine oru manyen watu ko yen mania mako klasa beru tie.
Meanwhile, Bernard Opar, a parent, blames Zombo District Education Office for neglecting the school after the former head teacher Dennis Oyonge left the school.
Ya perango ma via class apero kerupe kore school mi Uruku Primary School en ke wandi waga mongeng pilemene re na wan wanya wenda via tie asaga ne ke wa benena via loko belal telemene chade wange yungo ketu par me ni ne game beru te ana wa wati ne mako kokuru kada ri ade mogu kada bi ket kokuru be ka som kadi bene gi joining in ko class apusel mako kokuru beru tie.
In response, Silvio Jalar, Zombo District Inspector of School, revealed that the district is working hard so that they can register the candidates to the nearby schools.
We have been having challenges, and the challenge is that the number of learners from P1 going through P2, P3 up to P7 has been reducing. So it has not been easy sometimes for some schools to have that number based on their remoteness. Now coming to Uruku, number one is that Uruku has got no sitting center of its own. The examination center it doesn't have, and it sits her candidates at Jukumu Primary School. And now, because of the population, which is ever reducing, as I've been mentioning, it has been failing. But I think this year it got around 10 candidates that's supposed to register. But it cannot fail to register those candidates because the law for you registering at UNEP states that you must have a minimum of 15 for you to maintain your sitting center. But
Uruku Primary School is a government-aided primary school under Church of Uganda Foundation and has only 2 classroom blocks, serving a total of 746 pupils. Alfred Jawok, West Nile TV, Nilecast.
And more in our stories, Azara City Development Forum prepares to elect their new City Development Forum executives for the year 2024-2027. The general public has been urged to participate in the process as the list of nominees have been publicized for public viewing, to make comments, raise concerns, objections or appeals before the 19th of April 2024. Take a look. As the Aura City Development Forum prepares to elect the new City Development Forum executives for the year 2024 to 2027 to represent the different constituencies and categories in Aura City, the general public has been urged to participate in the process as a list of nominees has been publicized for the public to view, make comments, raise concerns, objections or appeals before the 19th of April 2024. This was revealed during a press briefing with the executive members of the Aura City Development Forum for the newly elected executives for the period of May 2024 to May 2027. Jate Judith, the Aura City Community Development Officer, stated that due to the Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development guidelines on how changes of elections for the development forums shall take place, stakeholders have been urged to participate in the selection of the new executive members for constituencies and categories in Aura City. Strategy Judith further emphasized that if particular categories do not support the nominated executive member of their particular category, they are allowed to raise their concerns in writing to the Office of the City Town Clerk with justifiable evidence by the 19th of April 2024.
We have a manual here which was given to us by Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development. It's a manual that came out in March 2022, giving us guidelines on how the changes in elections shall take place. Just like we noted previously, we would gather in a hall and the different constituencies elect their leaders. But that also had limitations, because in that kind of meeting, you can't gather a number of stakeholders in one place. So this change is to enable us have a bigger perspective of stakeholders in a particular constituency so that they can be able to have enough time to engage in the elections and choose the person whom they feel can represent them. And by representation, it means that every city dweller is a CDF. As long as you live in Arua City, you get services in Arua City, you're a City Development Forum member. It's just that in your constituency, for example, the slum dwellers will sit together and choose someone to represent them, because not everybody can come and sit in a meeting or pick views that concern a particular constituency. That is why that constituency sends someone to represent them. Equally, after this someone has got information from the council, he or she is supposed to go back to their constituency and inform them of what is happening or what is expected out of them in the city. The town clerk has already appended this signature for publicity of this list. Therefore, we will start the publicity on Monday, a working day, and the days which we expect this list to be on the public notice boards is 7 days. So within the 7 days, when it's for public viewing, if a constituency feels or was not in that meeting and feels that the person whom they have elected is not representative enough for them, the person can write to town clerk complaining. And then we also go back to you and see whom you want to choose with reasons. You just don't choose because of personal feelings. You have to have justifiable reasons. Equally, if slum dwellers feel the people the list is accommodating is not their kind of person they want to represent them, they also communicate to town clerk in writing and inform the town clerk of why this person does not qualify to be their representative.
Dr. Trinity Caesar, the president of Aura City Development Forum, stated that Aura City Development Forum term of office has ended and therefore the constituencies have been guided to send their representatives so as a new team of executives can be ushered into a new term.
The development forums are guided by the charter. A charter is more like the constitution. It sets how the forum operates. And this charter is subject to reviews and amendments. And therefore, we have been guided until now to note that our term of office has run out, and that is why of late we engage in the same constituencies to send representatives so that not later than soon we're able to convene here and then have an annual general meeting that can usher in a new team of executives.
The general public has therefore been urged to take note of the publicized list of nominees for the Ura City Development Forum, make comments, raise concerns, objections and appeals where necessary to the City Town Clerk by the 19th of April 2024. Okumaringa Christine, for West Nile Television, Nilecast. And more in our stories, the resident District Commissioner Nebi District, Robert Abak, has called upon the border members to remain united so that they can benefit from the government programs like Parish Development Model and MYOGA. This was revealed during the burial of John Bosco Okaba, a border rider who lost his life during a fatal accident in Nebi municipality. Alfred Jawok reports.
As Nebi Boda fraternity is mourning the death of their fallen member John Bosco Okaba, who passed on 13th April 2024 in an accident at Yangsel Nebi municipality, RDC Nebi district, Robert Abak has called upon Boda members to be united so that they can benefit from government programs like PDM, MYOGA, among others. He was speaking to mourners this afternoon at Konamen village, Jopangera sub-county Nebi district, during the burial of John Bosco Okaba, a Boda rider who lost his life during a fatal accident in Nebi municipality. Robert Abak expressed disappointment over the increasing number of Boda associations, which proves disunity.
Not Dikire and Teko, that's what we say. But now Boda, they told us they are not together. Jadid Vika. Kuno Vik, Kuno Kona, Kuno Wad, Kuno Baghdad, Kuno what? Don't understand. Even Chalo government, how do we come to help you when you are divided? Center NT for PDM, Center NT for MYOGA, how can we help you, Boda, when you are divided? How? I'm even surprised, Boda, today, we are talking as Boda corner, Goli corner, Goli customs. Me, I thought I would get the chairperson, Boda of Nebi. At Kawuni and Nenongo, which means we are not yet together. But Boda for us as leaders, we rely on you. You are the most organized groups that we have in our district. As much as you are complaining, Boda, at least giving you lift what your core. But to me, I'm saying you give us information.
Amisi Kayondo, DPC Nebi, assured the family of the deceased that investigation into the matter is ongoing, but urged members of the public to be cautious while using the road.
I want to say that justice takes place.
Giwachnia maecha gisheke lembe mutimrecha cheke gike to bedagora enke madine gibeneno nia yoringe sheke bedo ber ulundu medere kendi wange.
I want to encourage the relatives of the deceased to be in touch with our offices so that we see how the prosecution can continue.
Ebe kwayo jopagi juroto egie ya gibeda reba koge nibeka chidi office meneno nia lembe magibe lobo cheke udong urombo maber.
If there's anything you don't understand in the system of investigating this matter, come to me personally or come to Founder DC's office. We shall make everything streamlined properly.
John Bosco Okaba died together with his wife, Esther Aforoth, on Saturday, 13th April 2024, after getting involved in an accident, and their burial was today at Goli and Mahag, respectively. Alfred Jawok, West Nile TV, Nilecast.
And more in our stories. During the burial of the late Iriche Felice Tombe, the principal officer second, who passed on the 11th of April 2024 at Adjumani General Hospital, parents of Adjumani District have been urged to take their children to join Uganda Prison Services. Onzima Allen reports.
Parents in Ajumani district have been urged to take their children to join Uganda prison services. This call was made during the burial of late A3 Felicia Tombe principal officer who passed on 11th April 2024 at Ajumani General Hospital. Assistant Superintendent of Prison, Zonzo James, the district prison commander, said people should follow the good legacy left by the late and the serving officers who are very disciplined. He further calls on parents to send their children to join prison services so as to add on their limited numbers.
My officers are well disciplined. I made 2 years in Ajumani district, but I have never had any complaint against my prison officers. Yet we have a big number, which means our discipline, the discipline of our officers is okay. Though at times we may have some loopholes here and there, but since I'm there, we are able to bridge the gap. I'm encouraging us parents to send our sons and daughters to join Uganda Prison Service. Sending them there, you have never made any mistake. You see how my officers are glittering, very smart, including the Mzee, the DPC as well.
Assistant Superintendent of Prison Katenya Enoch, officer in charge of Uganda Prison Farm Ajumani district, said the late was a simple, social and dedicated person who always loved to do his work as required with a lot of dignity. Katenya adds that he was shocked after hearing the sad news about the death of the late A3 Felicia Tombe.
First interacted with him in 2021, and he teased me that, young boy, you have come to manage us. Don't worry, we shall work together. So that's how funny he was, but he meant his words. And indeed, we have worked together with him until the day the Almighty God called him. I last talked to him on 4th when I called him and said, Etri, I have not seen you. Are you around? He told me, Afande, I'm home. But on Monday, that was on 8th, I'm going to be at work. And if you look at me, even I've improved. I'm strong, I'm ready to work. I also miss work. Unfortunately, on that very day, I received a call that a tree is admitted.
Honorable Lawrence Mangapi, Mayor Ajumani Town Council, said the late had a successful life worthy to be celebrated and calls on all people to work together as a team so as to achieve their goals for attaining development.
Decided we should gather together and celebrate the life of Mzee Eliseo. We are celebrating his life because of what he has done and what he has left for us. Mzee has left legacy, and it has been testified here by the various entities that now young blood have taken the mantle to take responsibility of this country. Uganda Police, Uganda Prison, thank you so much. And I'm also impressed with the Uganda prisons because theirs is a mixed age. You can see there are those with gray hair, there are those that are even older than them, and there are those in the middle. This is very impressive, meaning there's continuity.
Late A3 Felicia Tombe was born on 15th June 1966 to the family of Felicia Tombe and Josephine Yona Ndrua at Metu, currently Moyo District. He studied from Cecia Primary School and Metu Senior Secondary School respectively from 1977 to 1983 and joined Uganda Prison in 1988 as a prison guard. Peace Oshoki, Onjima Alan, West Nile Television, Nilecast.
And more in our stories. As operations against thieves in Arua City continues, human rights activists are warning members of the public, most especially those involved in the exercise, against the violations of the rights of the suspected criminals. Farish Majid reports.
As operations against thieves in Arua City continues, human rights activists are warning members of the public, most especially those involved in the exercise, against the violations of the rights of the suspected criminals. This follows the recent rise in spate of criminality within the city center, where the thieves target people with phones, handbags, which has forced the members of the community to join hands to eradicate the vice out of the areas within the central business district. The rights activists are warning against mob action, murder, torture, and other forms of human rights violations during the ongoing operations as they call for a fair trial. Okurut Bosco, the regional manager working with Uganda Human Rights Commission, observes that the rights of the suspects are being violated during the ongoing operations, as he urges the members of the public to use the right channels while handling the suspects.
You realize that for the general public to go on their own, mobilize themselves, and then they go and do operations without the police, and then in the process of arresting the perpetrators, the suspected criminals, they go on beating them, they go on burning their properties. That is illegal. It is not good. It's not allowed in the laws. I would advise that if the members of the public would like to join the police in this operation, help the police, support the police in this operation, that would be okay. Do it alongside the police so that people's rights are not violated, people's properties are not burned, people are not beaten in the process of the arrest.
Recently, Right Reverend Sabino Chano Doki, the Bishop of Arua Catholic Diocese, during a visit by media team at his house in Ediofe, raised concern over the increasing cases of mob action within the city center, which has also left scores dead and others injured.
So I want to appeal to people. We have law in this country. If you find somebody in the wrong, let the law take its course. Mob justice is really condemned. And people are, even if you find somebody has stolen something, you should allow that person be taken and prosecuted by court, not by you.
However, Moses Oringi, who works as a programs manager with West Nile Regional Civil Society Network, an organization working to protect the rights of the citizens, condemns the violations of the rights of the suspects, which he says is unacceptable.
We have regulations that have been put in place, like the Constitution of the 1995, Article, I think, 22, which clearly talks about the right to life. So, whereas these issues of mob justice is being it's on a high increase within the city, I think it is not proper for people to engage in this issue. It is not just against the law, but it's also a sin, and morally it is not okay.
Similarly, Inspector of Police Matua Alfredo Tokira, the police community liaison officer for Central Division, warns community members of violating the rights of the suspects during the operations.
These operations, a few of them were characterized by beatings, where the criminal put resistance towards those who intended to arrest them. That is a violation of right. That is an act of torture which is condemned. Police will identify those who engaged in beating, destroying property, carry out investigations on those incidences, and ensure that persons who engaged in those wrongful acts in the name of supporting police operations are brought to answer for their actions.
In the ongoing operations against the suspected criminals in Arua City by the angry community members, scores have already been killed as a result of mob action, with several others getting injured, with their motorcycles set ablaze. Farish Majid, West Nile TV, Nalcast.
A very good evening, viewers. You are most welcome for today's edition of NILE Sports News. My name is Oracle Benson Pastores, being a soccer pundit for Western Television. Make sure that I give you a lot in different sporting disciplines as far as sports is concerned. Before we talk about famous sporting activity, I'm talking about football. Let's first take a look at what is making headlines as far as boxing is concerned. I can confirm to you, boxers at Arua City Boxing Club right now, they are optimistic ahead of the National Open Championship as they are for massive preparation for the championship. Let's first take a look at the combined story about that.
With only a few days to the National Open Championship, slated to take place in Kampala from 20th of April 2024, which is a qualifier to the Champions League Season 3 and from where athletes can be selected to represent in various competitions at country level, Arua City Boxers under their umbrella body Arua City Boxing Club are expressing readiness towards the games amidst the several challenges they encounter. Latifa Gift, one of the female boxers at the club who is also among those looking forward to compete at the games, says she's in good shape to compete at the forthcoming National Open Boxing Championship.
I'm playing under bantam, light bantam, 52 kgs. Yeah, I'm ready to fight. I achieved to win this one, to win gold medal.
Similarly, Okulega Muhammad, the head coach of the club, also confirms that his team is ready and well prepared to compete for the games later to take place in Kampala from next week.
We have 7 boxers who are ready to represent West Nile as a general. I have junior weights, 3 players who are going to play under the junior. I have Oleru in the female, in the junior, which is going to play the pin weight title, and she's ready, prepared. And the Latifa, light bantam, she's well prepared, ready. And they have Mambo Isa in lightweight, in junior categories. I have youth categories. I have Andama. Andama is ready, and the Samim in youth. Arafa, the lightweight. Arafa also in youth. Leads categories, I have Razak Ali, who's going to represent West Nile as a super heavyweight in this tournament. And well, the boys are prepared. My worry.
However, despite the team's readiness to compete at the games, the fate of the team traveling to Kampala to compete at the games hangs in balance due to budgetary challenges, as Oshino Rashid, the chairperson of the club, is appealing to the members of the public to extend a hand.
So we are looking forward to this marvelous activity, of which when I consulted with my technical team, they came up with a budget of about 2.7 million to take the boys to Kampala, including transport, feeding, accommodation, registration. In UBF also they just at 100,000 shillings registration, and I think that is it. Medical and other things. And so far we are trailing, in a sense that the contributions that we have so far received are not actually amounting to what is budgeted. But it will not demoralize us. We are going ahead because we are left with, I think, 3 days. Because our expectation was these boys should leave on the 19th, which is due on this Friday. But so far what we have at hand, out of 2.7 million, what we have at hand is like about 460,000, and we have pledges of 470,000. I want to thank those people who have pledged and who have supported us.
Malingum Foundation, led by Daku Farouk, one of the foreign-based Ugandan boxers, which has been very instrumental in supporting the activities through donation of boxing assortments and mentorship through their representative Toko Badru, commonly known as TOK, promised to extend support in the noble cause.
Apart from being here as a representative of Daku Farouk or Malingumu Events Promotions, and a company that recently gave a hand, not once, about twice, to the club, which the president will testify and tell you about the products that they were able to receive. We also want to say that we are ready to spearhead the campaign and be able to give some, if not shillings, euros, support the boys in this endeavor.
Arua City Boxing Club is a community-based boxing training institution seeking to recruit and nurture talent among young people so that they can desist from tendencies of criminality. Farish Majid, Oraku Benson Pastore, West Nile TV, Nalka Sports.
Right now, the biggest story which is happening in Europe is all about European night continuing. It's all about UEFA Champions League, UEFA Europa League, and Europa Conference. It all started yesterday with 2 games being played, and it is continuing today and tomorrow. Before we take a look at the games to be played today and tomorrow in both UEFA Champions League, Europa Conference, and in UEFA Europa League, let's first take a look at which teams have transpired to the semi-finals of the UEFA Champions League. Like I said earlier on, 2 games were played yesterday. There was a game between Borussia Dortmund and the team of Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid, they left Wanda Metropolitan and they went to Westfalenstadion in Germany, and they lost the game into the hands of Borussia Dortmund. The full time of that encounter yesterday night ended by 4-2. The goals for Borussia Dortmund were scored by Julian Brandt. We saw one coming from Chelsea, Loni Madsen. Marcel Sabitzer also added one, and coming also a goal came from their striker, Fulkrug. Meanwhile, the 2 consolation goals for Atletico Madrid were scored by Matt Hummels, added one, and Ozzy and Angel Correa also helped them to see that he scored one of the consolation goals for the team of Atletico Madrid. The first leg ended 2-1. It was at Wanda Metropolitan. That means the team Borussia Dortmund advancing to the semis of UEFA Champions League after 6-3 win over 5-3 win over the team of Atletico Madrid. That one wasn't the only game played yesterday night. Also at Catalonia, there was a game between Barcelona and the team of Paris Saint-Germain at Principality des Parcs des Princes. Last week, it was Barcelona that won it by 3-2, an edging win for them. But at home, they could not contain the pressure from the team of Paris Saint-Germain as they were accumulated by 4-1. That only the solo goal came from Rafinha. Meanwhile, for Paris Saint-Germain, we saw a brace coming from Kylian Mbappe. Vitinha added one, and also their former employer, Darcy Dembele, scored one of the goals for the team of Paris Saint-Germain. And Paris Saint-Germain also advancing through to the semis of UEFA Champions League. And also coming tonight, Arsenal history, whether Arsenal can be able to go past Bayern Munich. Arsenal has never beaten Bayern Munich in UEFA Champions League. We are waiting to see if they will do that one tonight, as they will be traveling. In fact, they're already in German Allianz Arena to end the business tonight. The first leg of this encounter ended 2-2. We are waiting to see what will happen tonight. Also, on the other screen, same time, Los Blancos will be battling it out with the team of Manchester City. First league ended 3-3. This time, it will be taking place in England and Etihad. History will also have to be broken tonight. Manchester City, Real Madrid has never beaten Manchester City at Etihad. And at the same time, Manchester City has never won UEFA Champions League consecutively. We are waiting to see what will happen tonight. And as I said, European night still continue. Not only UEFA Champions League, Europe is also bouncing back tonight. And everyone is waiting to see if Liverpool can bounce back from the humiliation they had into the hands of the Italian-based club Atalanta last week, as they were beaten by 3-0. And they will be heading to Italy. And at the same time, Soccer Lisboa Benfica will take on the team of Olympique de Marseille. Meanwhile, in Germany, Bayer Leverkusen will have to make sure that they continue with their fine run of the season. They are still unbeaten in all competitions, and right now they are holding advantage of a 2-0 win over the team of West Ham. And also one game which will be happening tomorrow in UEFA Europa League will be a game between AS Roma and the team of AC Milan, and the Roma will be sitting at the Stadio di Olimpico to take on the team of AC Milan. Right now, it is the team of AS Roma holding the advantage over the team of AC Milan. Let's finalize everything tonight with what is happening in the Championship. I can confirm to you, as the tightness continues in the table standing of English Premier League, meanwhile also in the sister tournament I am talking about Championship, it's also very tight. Everyone is waiting to see which teams will be in position to get automatic promotion into English Premier League. Right now, you look at how the table is looking like in the Championship. On top is the team of Ipswich Town with 89 points, followed by Leicester City with 88. Third team on the log is Leeds with 87, and the team which completes the top four right now in Championship is the team of Southampton with 84. Just look at the points gap. Number 1 is having just a point gap of 1 with number 2. Number 2 is having a point gap of 1 with number 3, and it continues. Remember, we are only left with 3 rounds to finalize the season of Championship. Yeah, it has been me, Benson Pastore, bringing all these things to you. Let's link up again tomorrow, and I'll still be the one in front of the camera to give you what is happening in the world of sports. Have the best of your moments.
Thank you, Rocco Benson Pastore, for that sports news and that sports highlight. And that via marks the end of the Nilecast, only on West Nile Television. Thank you always, viewers, for taking the time to be with us from the beginning of the Nilecast to the end of the Nilecast, only on West Nile Television. Please stay tuned to the rest of the